Hi, Internet. Welcome to the Troyan YouTube channel. It is Thin Lizzy Wednesday. I mean Thursday. So it's been some weirdness over on the Thin Lizzy Thursdays with us here on the Troyan YouTube channel. Um, Starting with that spectacular, super well received St. Patrick's Day special, where we went over the entirety of the Black Rose album and ranked it with a panel of millennials. Um, so first off, apologies for that episode. Silly me, I thought to myself, it's Black Rose. I didn't think that my friends would have negative things to say about it. I thought it'd be a generally positive discussion because it's freaking Black Rose, one of Thin Lizzy's finest albums. Um, so that episode surprised me as much as it did you. So sorry about that. Um, and then the awkwardness of uploading a Thin Lizzy Thursday on a Wednesday, just all kinds of silliness here lately. But hopefully, we are getting back on track with a song that won the fan vote. So back with the fan vote, this got 80% of the fan vote. It wasn't even close. Got to give it up. Stone Cold Classic, one of Thin Lizzy's finest hours. I am expecting to rank this pretty highly. You heard me talk about it on the Black Rose episode. But for recap, so this is a song off of my favorite Thin Lizzy album, and I think one of the better songs on said album. So this track is basically the cry for help song, which is a trope within itself in music, where the singer songwriter of the song is like, "Hey, I'm in a bad place, and I'm going to express this desperation in song form." So basically, this song is Phil taking on a character, but the character of a drug addict who has fallen into hard times and is sinking into a low place, and it's a mixture of like the reality of what Phil was experiencing, but also a bit of a fantasy because this character has a different family relationship than Phil had, and is in a lower place than Phil was at the time. And so people at the time when this song came out thought it was about Brian Robertson, but in retrospect, most people consider this to be the Phil's cry for help song. Um, I'm gonna try just going through the lyrics first before we get into the reaction with the pauses. Hopefully that breaks it up better. Still experimenting with the format years in. So lyrics. I've got to give it up, that stuff. I've got to give it up, that stuff. Tell my mama and tell my pa that their fine young son didn't get far. He made it to the end of a bottle sitting in a sleazy bar. In a sleazy bar. Alright, so the line "tell my mama and tell my pa." The reason why that is obviously immediately making this a character is that Phil didn't really have a relationship with his father, and to my knowledge, I don't even think they ever met. I think he went looking for his father in London one time, but never actually found him. So that immediately makes the character, but there's a lot of personal emotion mixed into this character piece. Back to the lyrics. He tried hard, but his spirit broke. He tried hard until he nearly choked. In the end, he lost his bottle drinking alcohol. So bit of a play on words. Lost his bottle, lost his battle. And then we got the chorus. I've got to give it up. That stuff, etc. Tell my brother I tried to write and put pen to paper, but I was frightened. I couldn't seem to get the words out right. Right, quite right. Tell my sister I'm sinking slow. Now and again I powder my nose. In the end, I lost my bottle. It smashed in a Casbah. So again, Phil didn't have siblings. Um, so the tell my brother, tell my sister, uh, you know, making it the character piece, but also like the desperation of like wanting to reach out for help, but not really being able to, and as you're sinking further and further into that despair. And then more lyrics. I've been messing with the heavy stuff. For a time I couldn't get enough, but I'm waking up and it's wearing off. Junk don't take you far. Tell my mom I'm coming home, and in my youth I'm getting old, and I think it's lost control. Mama, I'm coming home. So really dark, powerful lyrics. An excellent piece. To be able to pull that art out of yourself when you're in that dark place. So it shows like the reflective nature Phil had, the self awareness that he had, but also it shows, unfortunately, the power of addiction. How even with that self awareness, sometimes you can't beat it. So It's a very powerful piece, and it's a great song. And now we're gonna break it down. So, "Got to Give It Up" by Thin Lizzy.
I've got to give it up. I've got to give it up. That's true. I've got to give it up. I've got to give it up. That's tell my mama and tell my pa that their fine young son didn't get far. He made it to the end of a battle, sitting in a sleazy bar. He tried hard, but his spirit broke. He tried until he nearly choked. In the end, he lost his battle, drinking alcohol. Got to give it up. I got to give it up. That's love. Got to give it up. I got to give it up. That's love.
Yeah, I mean, it's freaking killer. It's hard to even know what to say because just everything is so good. Obviously, you have that that down intro, super excellent, and then it picks up and just very punchy. Like perfect placement of the guitars in the arrangement. We're just like it's a really great rhythm, and the emotional performance from Phil is pitch perfect. It's exactly what you would want with this lyrical content. So it's I'm trying to. I blocked out most of the episode from memory, but I think this one was one of the more well received songs across the panel. So if you get further into the episode, eventually, there's nicer things to be said. But I mean, this is just, it's excellent, it's visceral, it's emotional, it's powerful, it's top notch.
Tell my brother I tried to write.
Such a good vocal.
That's love. Tell my brother I tried to write. I put pen to paper, but I was frightened. I couldn't seem to get the words out right. Right, quite right.
And just very clever wordplay and just perfect enunciation and just exactly what he wanted to do there. Just it works so well. It's really excellent.
Right, quite right. Tell my sister I'm sinking slow. Now and then I powder my nose, but in the end I lost my bottle. It smashed in a Casbah. Got to give it up. I got to give it up. That's love. Got to give it up. I got to give it up. That's love.
Ah man, the Brian Downey again, just like the killer drum fills he just sneaks in, just it's so great. And yeah, this is perfection. Yeah, I mean, and we just came out of just a killer solo. The thing is, like, I got distracted by the awesome drum fill. Then I'm like, oh yeah, I should comment. I'm just like, oh yeah, it's Gary Moore era. It's the solo's great, obviously.
I've been messing with the heavy stuff. For a time I couldn't get enough, but I'm waking up and it's wearing off. Drunk don't get you far. tell my mama I'm coming home. And in my youth I'm getting old, and I think it's lost control. Mama, I'm coming home.
Yeah, that line right there is one of the most like heartbreaking. Just because if you know anything about Phil, you knew like what a mama's boy he was and how much he loved his mom, and so like the tragic character like pleading, with their their mom, like I'm finally coming home after all this, stuff with the drugs, but like maybe never making it home is just it's tragic. It's beautiful in a tragedy, and like in a Shakespearean way. Um, a beautiful tragedy. A great piece of art.
Lost control. Mama, I'm coming home. Give it up, give it up, give it up. That stuff, give it up. You know what I'm talking about. Give it up. That stuff. That stuff, give it up, give it up, give it up. That stuff.
Yeah, so there we go. That is got to give it up by Thin Lizzy. So Black Rose, as I've discussed it with the friends in the band, what is this? Is that a video for freaking Do Anything You Want to? Oh, not available in the United States. Ah, you got
I've
me.
got
You
to
got
give.
me, YouTube. That is a really mean tease. Show me the thumbnail for a video that you won't let me watch. So yeah, I've never seen the "Do Anything You Want to" music video, but I saw a video thumbnail of like the band around some timpani drums. So um, gotta get that sweet sweet VPN so I can access that awesome UK content that they don't let us have in the States. I don't know why they won't let us have the video here because you can get the ad revenue, record company. I don't understand why you don't want the ad revenue from America. But there you go. Yeah, so the song is freaking great. Um, Black Rose is in retrospect one of the darker Thin Lizzy albums, and maybe it's like the beginning of the dark era for the band because when you look at Black Rose, I mean, it's a pretty dark, bleak album. Thunder and Lightning has a lot of bleakness as well, as does Renegade. Um, Chinatown is sort of like not quite as bleak, but this is like the beginning of the band going in like a darker direction. Um, and so I can see how the just hopeless atmosphere of most of the album can be unappealing to some people, like those folks on the panel. But I just thought it was a fine artistic statement and just all around excellent. And I think this is a brilliant artistic achievement to be able to pull these demons out of you and to create such a great like honest piece of art is and something that's so like potent and visceral and powerful. I think it's really really excellent. um so yeah, big fan of this one. And now comes the part, boys and girls, where we rank it. I mean, obviously this has got to be high. Let's see. Yeah, I'll put it above Thunder and Lightning, above One Wish, above yeah. Oh, definitely better than Black Rose. Better than Military Man, yes. Better than Don't Believe a Word, yes. Better than Running Back. Better than Running Back. Hmm. Yeah, better than Running Back. Better than Romeo and the Lonely Girl. Yeah. Better than Night in the Life of a Blues Singer. Yes. Better than Old Town. Better than Old Town. I would say yes. Better than Waiting for an Alibi. I'm gonna go no. Yeah, that is that is where we're going, people. We are putting Got to Give It Up right under Waiting for an Alibi in quadruple S rank. And as you can see, Greg's opinion on Black Rose, Toughest Dude in Town, Waiting for an Alibi, and Got to Give It Up are all in quadruple S. So, Black Rose, fine album. But also, The Boys Are Back in Town and Jailbreak, also in quadruple S. So, you know, there is some good stuff from Black Rose and Jailbreak. And as we're closing out, I want to play just a hair of the intro from the actually basically the entire intro from the 1983 live version of the song because I think it's really cool. So I'm just gonna play a little bit of that for you from the Life Live album.
We'll be back just after this message. We have heard that there are people here in the leisure land that have consumed large quantities of alcohol. And on behalf of the management, this is frowned upon, as alcohol is dangerous. It has also been brought to our attention that there are those out there and on the stage that have indulged in sex. This is also frowned upon, as sex can damage your health. So for all those people in bad health, welcome. I have got to give it up. I have got to give it up. Oh, that's the I have got to give it. I have got to give it up. Yeah, that's the
Yeah, I mean, man, really brilliant. It's when we did that podcast, that intro got compared to the Cold Gin intro. But I think it's like a more menacing, dark version of that same sentiment in a way. Where the entire thing is like, drugs are bad, but you also think drugs are fun. And by the way, this comes from Straight Edge Greg, so this is just my analysis. I have I'm I'm boring. I've never even smoked weed, so I'm very much on the straight edge camp. Um, but I do have a shot of whiskey on St. Patrick's Day, and that's about it. Um, but there's just that menace. There's menace and there's fun, but there's also like an acknowledgement of just like, yeah, but this is kind of bad and terrible because Phil always has that Catholic guilt. So um If you want to listen to the full live version, definitely encourage you to do that. But we do the studio versions in general on this channel just for fair comparisons between the different versions of the songs. But yeah, so that is my reaction analysis to "Got to Give It Up." I knew this one was coming, and I was looking forward to when we got to it because it is one of my favorite Thin Lizzy songs. Darker subject matter, but I think handled in a really brilliant, thoughtful way, intelligent way. Big fan of it. Let me know what you guys think of this one in the comments down below, and stick around next week for the random song. Bye, everyone.